Hello, everybody, and welcome to round 11 of the Chess 2020 Chess Essay Online Olympiad Selection Tournament. It's for an Olympiad team that will compete online, but there's also 5,000 Rand prize money for each section. There are three sections: the open section, the under 20 section, and then the ladies, the female section. So each of these sections, prize money divided, I think first three places, 5,000 divided proportionally, and so it's quite a lot of money, and well, a good chance to be representing South Africa for the Olympiad team. And this is round 11. It starts at 11, and it's a minute to go. So we're going to be tuning into some of the games. Here's the pairings for the open section, as you guys can see. And the pairings for, well, they're not at round 11 yet. So the under 20 section, they're at round 9. So here are their pairings. And standings wise, Banele Mshangu in the under 20 section is still got a full score. I don't know what's happening in the adult section, in the open section. The rank is not updated at all. And we see a few games starting already. Let's just see if there's a rank for some other round. No, it's still only round 4. So let's just jump into the TVs of some of these guys. Let's see if we can get some of the games. Peaceful Warrior. Saw a game of here. Nachi Matpon went down against Johan Steenkamp. And by the way, sorry about the board. There you go. Hopefully that did not scare you away. Matpon with a quick French, playing against Kenny Willenberg with the white pieces. This is going to be a good game. And I don't know who's got the bye this round, but here is Kenny Solomon with the black pieces playing against Craig Willenberg. So, Kenny Willenberg, Craig Willenberg, Kenny Solomon. And Kenny Solomon's got the black pieces in this game. This is the same game. I really think that Holy Cornholio is running away with this open section, but I can't say for sure. Here, Johan Steenkamp now gets a chance to play against him. Holy Cornholio is Roland Besaidenout. And I think there's one or two more players we need to follow. Not sure if we are on everyone's games. Yeah, here's the Sneaky Weasel playing against Hakia. I think that's it. There should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. I'm watching too many games. Wasn't easy. Nachi. Uji. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. That's kind of impossible. Let me just count that I've got the right amount of games for round 11. Actually, I'm wrong. There should be another game. Should be 7 games. I'm missing someone. Ramos and Duji, I think. So let's just find them. And then we'll go look at what is happening in the under 20 section. Seems like he's offline today. Not seeing Jacob Nguni. In any case, Duji over here. Some players still waiting to start the round. It's 2 minutes past 11. But Matpon and Kenny Willenberg are they've already gone down a line where Kenny just played King F1. Castles, Bishop takes E6. Matt's fine with this. Gonna play down a pawn. Is it possible to even go take on D5? I think Kenny is analyzing this deeply. I think Queen here just picks up the piece though. So I don't think you need to calculate that deeply. Craig versus Solomon. Solomon versus Craig from our perspective. And let's jump into the juniors games. I think Crazy Castle is now playing against Mark Hansen. Crazy Castle with a good win there against Michael Simpson in the previous round. I'm pretty sure he won. I did not Yeah, no, he did win. Yeah, he won. I remember now. And who's Vusi playing against this round? Is he going to get a pairing? And Floppy the dog's in the game against Mr. Drypen. Drypen just lost against Keith. And Keith is yet again in a pairing against Pandabird 1. And Pandabird 1 took down Kanya Mazibuko in the previous round with the whole take-back debacle, which fortunately for him meant he could still go on to win the game. That's the reward for being a gentleman. And well, this is the same game. There should be Agalis, and here's a Kanya and Keegan Agalis, who lost against Banele in the previous round. I think I'm not on Banele's game, let's just look at Banele's game. And playing against Devin Smith, they've played loads of games, as you guys can see here. And the guy that wins, he's also got a good score against Banele. Not a lot of people have that type of score. Okay. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. They should be having 6 games. So these are the under 20 games happening. Mark against the Crazy Castle. And Mark going for relatively moderate positions. He's usually at his best when he goes full out aggressive. Don't know if he's preparing F4. But he read a lot of material before the tournament. Usually that takes your chess down, to be honest. Because you try and apply the things you've just learned. And well, it's good. There's a learning curve. You obviously you need to start like making mistakes and stuff. Realizing how the material is applicable and when. And so usually a dip is followed by growth in terms of learning new chess material and applying it. So let's just run through the under 20 games again. Vusi and the Trophy Master. Trophy Master also quickly traded on c6 with his bishop. Not sure if this came from Sicilian or okay, came from a type of Scotch. And Drypen and Floppy the dog, Paul Gluckman over here, can go for the piece. No, you can't, sorry. That's something I would do now. Just that feeling of, sometimes the king is supposed to be here for that to work. So I like impulsively try that puzzle rush, that feeling. But the king is just... and I mean, that also feels like a pin, but... my brain glitching over there, thinking queen takes g6 is possible. Because the king is ghosting on g8. Okay, then we've got the Panda Bird and Keith Kumalu. Keith with 1 draw so far. He will need to win the rest and probably take down. That means he'll definitely need to take down Banele when he gets paired, if they want to fight for that first place. But so far, Banele is looking good to take the tournament. If Keith draws against Banele, and they're both undefeated, they'll take first and second. So that's their deal. I think they're fine with that. They can still just make a draw. King and Agalis Kanya. Liking Agalis's way of playing this position. Up a pawn. Got the what's better than the 7th, and I'll tell you guys now it's an 8th. With a pin on a piece. One day try and exploit it. And maybe Kanya woke up on the wrong side of bed, but today is not his day tactically. In the previous game, that a skewer is not something he'd usually miss. So we nearly done running through the I'm seeing in the comments. This is going to be interesting. I think this highlighting this game, because if Devon manages to take down Banele, I think they're the same age, and both very sharp for their age. As you guys can see, both of them playing with maybe 50-60 more rating points than Kenny Solomon. That's just the LiChess rating points. Your mouth becomes too flexible after speaking for too long, so that's my issue now. Can't pronounce words anymore. In any case, if someone can take down Banele, it's going to be Devon. I said that about Keegan and Gallus in the previous game, but just compare the two positions. Banele has to launch a queenside attack, while Devon's already got that h-pawn pretty advanced. And f5, that bishop on b2, f5, that bishop on b2. I'm putting, if I can put money against you guys on someone now, that would be against Banele winning this game. Devon is, I saw his kingside attack, I think, against Michael. Played g4. He's just an attacking player, and that's what we need at the moment to make this tournament more interesting. In any case, that would make things interesting if Banele and Keith are still trying to play for first and second as like teammates or friends. It's easier that way. So Banele goes down, and Keith just needs to take down Devon or something like that. It's not too complicated for two guys to try and win a tournament. The maths, I mean. Okay, so let's go back to the open section. The under 20 section is definitely interesting, so back to the open section. And Masia and Duji, Hainku, the white pieces against Masia and Pundo. And Hainku has set up what looks to be another London system, so I think it's the second time today we're seeing the London. And okay, there's still a long way to go before evaluating this position. One thing I can say though is that in the previous game, Masia had a similar structure, playing with the black pieces against the Blitz. Who's that Blitz account? Supremacy Blitz. And managed to win, so he's just gotten out of a game with similar structures, so he's warmed up for this type of position. While Hainku came out of a very sharp game against Kenny Solomon. That was the previous round, I think. No, I can't remember. But Hainku had the black pieces and was trying to play aggressively. Now he's got the white pieces, so he's not, I don't think he's completely prepared. Was as warmed up for this position as Masia at the moment. And okay, Blackjack Revolution, the game's already over. Matt won. Yeah. So this is Kenny Willenberg did go for the idea, walking into Queen B5 check, King G2, Queen takes D5, and resigned right here. There's quite a lot of things happening. So Craig Willenberg still playing against Kenny Solomon. Kenny has lost this nice bishop. I don't think we left it. Yeah. This is actually maybe the fourth time I've seen Craig team up with the queen and play a piece to h6 or to get rid of his opponent's dark squared bishop. And Kenny, When did he move the queen to 8? Okay, he moved it now. You must just be careful not to leave your queen there for too long. But I get, everything seems fine. But I don't know exactly what you're doing with your queen on a5 after the Liskin castles. I'll have to wait and see. Unless you're just planning to attack a pawn or something weird. We'll let the Grandmaster show us. Steenkamp, Roland Besaidenout. Steenkamp just came out of a great game against Matt Pon. He took down Matt Pon very convincingly. When Steenkamp plays well, I really think he's one of the best. As we saw Matt Pon just suffer against him. And in this game against Roland Besaidenout, he's definitely superior again, and the Roland Besaidenout also one of the country's toughest. And I like his position in this case simply because of how awkward Black seems to be at the moment. I'm highlighting these three pieces as I'm not sure what they're doing together yet. So, in the comments, Simza, Sampiwe Buthelezi, saying this will be a draw, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I must say, I'm really impressed with Roland's endgame technique. So, he might be happy just playing b5 and trying to do something. Or maybe knight e3. b5 is maybe the idea. Steenkamp is just looking for c6 to hamper the eyesight of this bishop along the diagonal. I'm sure he's just going to move the bishop back, to a light square. He'll make an illegal move on LiChess.org. He's just going to break the system, put the bishop on a light square, and just totally baffle his opponent. Okay, next game, I think. Hakia and the Sneaky Weasel. The two names, I don't know who they are. And White has offered a draw, but Black has declined. Okay. Seems very drawish. And Bramos isn't playing today, it seems. Jacob Nguni maybe can't make today. And Crazy Castle's definitely better here against Mark. Mark is not really finding his groove after that first game. I can't remember who he took down in that game, but that was a stunning game. And after that, this is the type of thing I was seeing. Not happy for Mark to have to go into this. Yeah, Mark is suffering here. And the Crazy Castle actually had a good game in the previous round against Michael Simpson, who's one of the toughest in this section, able to take down anyone on a good day. So Crazy Castle definitely warmed up. And this is just looking terrible. Going back for a check to be able to push the pawn forwards. And now knight f3 check comes with the threat of queen mate, or the queen entering at least. You need to move your bishop, knight, and then this check. King takes, check, and mate. Mark is going down. Not having too much luck today. Okay. Trophy Master and Wusi Musi. I'll give this game a while too. I think some interesting threats actually. What did white move? White moved there to threaten knight takes, but it's actually still possible to go knight takes. If you really want to, you can go knight takes, the queen moves, bishop takes. And black is to be preferred in any case. I mean, you can go queen takes knight or whatever, and or just bishop takes, let white play with a knight. Black will be up a pawn. No, not up a pawn. Equal material, but this passed pawn should help Wusi. But dry pen and Paul Gluckman. Paul with the black side of the position. And dry pen was kind of trying to overload Paul. The few of these ideas, saying your queen can't defend everything at once. So that's why knight went back to d8 to at least defend the f7 point. To open the queen's eyes to defend all of these threats. And it looks a bit chaotic over here on the king side. But I think if you give black a few more moves, this might just be developed pawns and pieces. Actually, the queen is actually very stressed at the moment. There's a lot of things the queen is looking out for actually. There might be a breaking point. Something that works. So for instance, I'm trying to overload the queen. So sack the knight, go bishop takes to threaten this knight and this square. But I think just castles. So ideas like these you should try and look for. Okay, so you did go for something. Okay, I'm glad I'm spotting some of these things even after I'm really tired. So definitely overloading the queen in this position. A nice idea. So if queen takes, there's this at least to win some material. But I'm expecting Mr. Drypen to go for knight d6 check to hunt down the king. It's always way more fun to checkmate than to win a rook. Pandabird and Keith Kamalu already. This game is looking very promising for Keith. Stuff like this looming. Pandabird gracefully holding on. And we should actually be moving all the way to Banele's game. Missing out over there. This is really interesting too. I'm just seeing the guy that learns in chat. So I'm going to just point out all the weird things you notice when you stream a big event like this. How do you play and chat? Some people are asking the guy that learns, Devin Smith. And he's got his toughest game at the moment against Banele. Unless he's very confident and is roaming around on the other boards. Ooh, Kanya and Keegan Agalis at each other's throats. There's another check. Actually, that check is great. King here, they'll give this check too. And suddenly you don't need to worry about Black's bishop trying to pin you down or something. I'm expecting this. But now this is unclear. Okay, we'll get back here. I'm moving slowly towards Vanelle's game, and wow, no wonder Devon is moving around to other games. I just think he's very confident here. What's wrong with taking the... Oh, there's this tactic. So he's blundered against this tactic. Maybe he should not be wandering around looking at other games. But still, I think he's confident. Here's bishop and queen slicing through soon. He's threatening the knight. So Vanelle knows that this is a mate threat. He can't take here and allow bishop takes. There's just too much coordinating now along this diagonal. So he simply went e5 against the queen. F takes e. Devon has calculated. Vanelle's in a think. And I think he's going down. His first game going down in this tournament. Pawn wonder in chat. Here comes Vanelle with a defensive move, which he's kind of obliged to make now. But one of the perks of white's position is that you can kind of move your queen away, and the pawn is pinned. Vanelle with a very awkward position here. Let's quickly run back to Mark's game. I think it's over. Yep. This was just too much. After g7, Mark went rook takes. Two rooks entered, the queen entered, and he resigned. Trophy Master and Vusi. Trophy Master trying to set... He set up... Oh, okay, so this did happen, and the knight just went back. And this is where we are at. Dry pen and Paul Gluckman. Dry pen made the very exciting move. Bishop takes on g4. And off the takes went knight takes on d6. Not going for the material. And Paul ran his king to d7. Not what we were expecting. And actually he's just down some material now. And the attack doesn't seem too great. So king d7, a nice find. Just holding on to everything. Maybe yeah, king d7. It makes you really consider whether you should have gone for the material or not. In any case, we'll get back to this game in a second. I think Paul Gluckman would be able to pull through. The Wolf did end up taking down Mr. Panda Bird. Very nice checkmate. And Agallis against Kanya. Kanya ended up taking down Keegan and Agallis. Around about here, after this check, it looked promising for Keegan, but it looks like he walked into a mating net. Oh, he missed the mating net, I think. He didn't want to go. He thought his bishop could defend him from the discovery by this bishop, at least so that his own rook doesn't fall. But after bishop e2, there was the king here. There's actually a mate in one. And if king back, it's same mate. Beautiful mate. It's not about the rook that's hanging, it's about the mate. Okay, so the big game, Vanelle. Okay, so the queen moved back. I don't like this, to be honest. I really don't like this move. Queen d3, what is Devon up to? You want to hold on to the big pin, right? Because now after queen move, there was a trade, and simply pawn takes is possible. I don't like what Devon just did. He's actually down a pawn because of all of that. The sneaky pawn Banele just took. Suddenly not liking his position at all. Don't know why that was necessary. He's going into defensive mode. Banele's going to pick up a pawn. And Banele's going to walk away with another win. The move queen d3. Here's Pawn Wanderer Dante Bierkes in the chat also saying queen e3 instead of d3. Yeah. Devon is suffering, exactly. Banele not even going for the pawn, going for some activity. Trying to just attack now. Where is Devon's attack? That game no longer interests me. Banele will win this game now. Okay, let's go to Duji. Masia. And this Haiku and Masia, what have they gotten up to after we left? Masia with a different approach in this game than in the previous game. We left it kind of here where I said that Haiku might not be as warmed up for this position as Masia, who just came out of a game with similar ideas to this one, except this one has kind of changed in character, so it's its own beast now. Liking Masia's position slightly more, with the ability to use the F file. Okay. Peaceful Warrior did end up playing a game, and I never really tuned in, against Supremacy Blitz. And we saw this line in the Scotch. I like Supremacy Blitz's choice of openings. The threat is knight f2, don't worry, that's not a smothered mate threat. And that's how Supremacy Blitz won the exchange. And then went for a nice and complicated line to win some pawns. Maybe he blundered this against the Peaceful Warrior. So what is wrong with taking the rook? What is wrong with taking the rook over here? I'm baffled. Take the rook. What does black play? Come on. What? I'm missing something for black. I mean, that check isn't there. Oh wait, it's actually black's move. That's the issue. I thought it's white's move. I was like, why did white take the bishop? It's so confusing. Something, I don't know. I'm confused in general. Nice move here. If you take, I take with mate. So Supremacy Blitz finding nice lines, exciting lines. Might need to give a rook back for bishop and a pawn. Actually, after all of that work, you actually just allowed the f-pawn to be too advanced, in my opinion. Which is a shame, because this was such a nice game so far by Supremacy Blitz. And it's just equalizing suddenly. In this game at pawn 1 quickly. Craig Willenberg and Kenny Solomon. Kenny Solomon up a pawn with the bishop. He's going to show us some Grandmaster endgame technique in this game. We'll get back to that. Steenkamp. Ah. Steenkamp. Some people were saying this would be a draw earlier on. And let's see what Steenkamp ended up doing. Because he was in the driver's seat. He had his opponent had the awkward rook on a6. Steenkamp played bishop to g5 when we left and traded. I think one of the points is that knight here definitely wins some material. So pawn takes, keeping the knight out. But now knight check, winning a pawn. And I think Steenkamp was pretty happy to win a pawn. And that is the route he needed to use to take the knight out. But somewhere along the line, he lost the pawn back. Okay. And okay, so this is, I think, one of the issues here. Roland Poseidonov is also just phenomenal at rook pawn endgames. So what's the issue here with rook takes a5? In any case, Steenkamp maybe needs to try. He can't defend both those pawns, so he's going for the other one. And they're making a draw. Okay, what's the moment where Steenkamp had more? I'm guessing around about this point, e5 check should be played. Maybe after going for something like this, stuff like h5, and this king being active, it's too annoying, so you want to be the one playing the active moves, going to these exchanges. Okay, Kia and the Sneaky Weasel. Can't remember what was happening in this game. Oh yeah, this is the game that White offered a draw early on over here in this position, and then Black declined. They continued playing, and White actually managed to win the rook pawn endgame. Look at how passive Black started playing, and then Black was the one to offer a draw again, but in the end Black declined the draw. So it really makes you think, you feel so bad because you could have just accepted the draw earlier on and then you ended up losing the game. That must be sad. Mark lost. Trophy Master and Vusi still in their game. Vusi now down a piece, but with a passed pawn. And actually, we were looking at this interesting trade by the knight. I don't know if you guys remember, but attacking the queen over here. And Vusi backed off and went for c5. And I think ended up trying to play with that e4 passed pawn. Is that just... But so he still got some compensation, which... Oh, the passed pawn was compensation. I think you needed to run back for it or something. Was it this necessary? I think the pin was... And then pushing the pawn, or... I don't know. In any case, it's equal again, so we'll go to a different game. Floppy the dog ended up winning this game. Unfortunately, Dry Pen had a good idea of going bishop to g5. I'm sure that was the right move. Let's quickly take a look. Bishop takes g5, followed by f6. And what happened after queen takes? Knight takes d6 check is correct. King d7, there's something else we were missing. Wait a minute. Why does the advantage just fall away after knight takes d6 check? Oh my word, so the computer is also quite confused. This is a confusing line. Bishop takes g5, recommended by the computer, but then the advantage just fizzles away. Okay, let's let the computer find something after this. Oh, it's saying there's nothing really. So Paul Gluckman, lucky over here. Knight c7 check. Let's let the computer go really deep over here and see what it comes up with. Panda Bird lost against the Wolf. Keegan O'Gullis lost against Kanya. And the guy that wins ended up being the guy that loses after, unfortunately, putting his queen back to d3. And he was walking around in the chat of another game. You really need to be focused, I guess. Too confident, especially against a guy like Banele. Queen d3 is recommended. What is wrong with queen e3? I felt that this was winning, but bishop takes g5. Why am I blind to this? And then knight takes c3 check. So what was... Banele was better the whole time. This is insane. I am just the patser. It's so hard to evaluate. This just... Knight takes a2 checks, such a strong move. King b1. e5. The combination of these moves is just really great. So let me just quickly show you guys. Knight here, you can't take the knight because of this check. And it's forking the king and queen, and the rook defends the knight. So king needs to move and you're dropping your queen. So that would be bad. Very nice move to find. It's a kind of an invisible move. But after king b1, the next move you need to find is important, e5, and that just shuts down white's queen from the game. So I think we also featuring this game because I was totally baffled at why queen e3 wasn't being played. Really, I believe that Devon was better. But queen e3 maybe immediately. But now black is on the offense. Everything's defended. Wow, what a game. Well, okay, who's still playing? I think Vusi is still playing. This is going to be a draw. Nasia and Duji, they're still playing. Hainku, Duplessis with white pieces, and Masia and Pundo with the black pieces. Their game's still happening. Supremacy Blitz lost this game? How in the hell did that happen? He was up the exchange. And I was saying that he played well, but then this f-pawn was like some weird compensation for white. And apparently it was just too much, even though you're up the exchange. Oh, he ended up losing this endgame. So close, so close. And, oh, this is why he lost. Queen, and you can't queen immediately, you need to move your king. And this is unfortunately not the correct pawn to draw the game with. What a weird game, and well done to Peaceful Warrior. What a weird game. Okay, so I think Masia's game is probably the last game still happening. And why isn't this game making a draw? These two clearly don't want to play for more. They're just having fun. White offers draw, black declines draw. Hussi's not accepting a draw. Okay, there's a draw. This game's done. Oh wait, we were leaving the computer here. Why didn't you continue, computer? You need to work here. You need to work. I'm gonna make you work. If I go back, are you still working? Yeah, you're still working. And I think that concludes the games for the under 20 section. So it's only Masia's game still happening for this round. And he's up 2 pawns. And he needs to keep the rooks on if he wants to win. Playing well against Haiku. Definitely a winnable position, I feel. It's not an endgame with opposite side colors bishops where just your immediate reaction is, oh, draw. I like the idea of maybe rook to e3 and sacrificing, because there's another pawn over here. So maybe Masia's setting this up. So if c takes a d4, then you can set something like this up, sacrifice, and no, sorry, the king is also pretty close. Okay, but getting rook here and then just pushing the pawn through is a clear plan. Trading rooks. Whoa, you need to quickly calculate if this works. Trading rooks, bishop takes, king here, bishop back, king here, and I think you're won. Oh, but Haiku had ugly ideas of doing this. So now, I think... No, you need to get your king to this square. Here takes, here, bishop, there. Oh, this might just be a draw at the end of the day. You need to push the pawn. Oh, this is going to end up being a draw. Okay. It was an interesting moment, but I think Masia was right to trade the rooks, but Haiku finding clever ideas there. They can just accept the draw. It's not completely drawn. Yeah, they can play on, but what's the use? Masia is now angry at himself for making a draw here, so that's why the game's still continuing. But this will be a draw, so... Well, I can just defend his 2 pawns like this, or I can just continue running up and down so, but maybe Masia will try a slip of the hand. And there we go. Draw is made. Can't mate with a... Can't mate with just the bishop. And here the winning move was d takes c3. Crazy. D takes c3 if rook takes c2 check. What a cool move. Okay, that concludes this round. I'll be back soon for the next round. And see you guys soon. Thanks for watching this together with me. This was so fun.